In this lecture, we are going to talk about the fourth example of suffixal homophones. It is about ly. This suffix has two homophones. It has two suffixes with the same pronunciation but different meaning. The first one is ly adverbial, and it is derivational. And the second one is ly adjectival, and it is derivational too. We start with the first suffixal homophone of ly, which is ly adverbial. This suffix is derivational, as we've said, and we can find this suffix added to most adjectives to make adverbs of manner. So we add ly to adjectives to make adverbs. For example, happy, happily, silent, silently, strong, strongly. So we add this ly to adjectives to make adverbs. That is why we call it ly adverbial, because when we add this suffix to adjectives, the result is an adverb. That is why it is called ly adverbial. We can also recognize ly adverbial in sentences. Always remember that adverbs modify and describe verbs. So, the ly form that describes and modifies a verb is an adverb, and the ly in this adverb is ly adverbial. Let's look at the first sentence. Read silently, please. Silently here is an adverb because it describes and modifies the verb read. Read in a silent way. So we are describing the way of reading. Read in a silent way. Silently here is an adverb. And the ly in silently is ly adverbial because silently is an adverb. The child jumped happily when his father opened the door. Happily is the ly form, and it is an adverb because it describes the verb jumped. How did the child jump? He jumped happily, in a happy way. So happily describes the way of jumping. That is why it is an adverb. And because it is an adverb, the ly in this adverb is ly adverbial. The second suffixal homophone of ly is ly adjectival. This ly is derivational, and it is attached to nouns to make them adjectives. That is why we call it ly adjectival. Friendly, lovely, beastly, daily, leisurely. All of them consist of a noun plus ly adjectival. So all of them are adjectives. Ly adjectival can also be added to some adjectives to have alternative adjectives, to have another kind of adjectives. Like kind, kindly, both of them are adjectives. Live, lively, dead, deadly, etc. So, ly adjectival is added to nouns to make them adjectives, and it is added to some adjectives to make them adjectives too, but another kind of adjectives, an alternative kind of adjectives. In addition, we can identify ly adjectival in English sentences when we have ly adjectives. I have a lovely cat. Lovely here is an adjective. First, because it comes before a noun. Cat is a noun, and lovely comes before the noun. And also because lovely modifies and describes the noun. It describes cat. What kind of cat we are talking about? We are talking about a lovely cat. The cat is lovely. So lovely here describes the cat. That is why lovely is an adjective. And the ly in this adjective is ly adjectival. The second example is it is a daily newspaper. Daily here is an adjective too, because it comes before a noun, and this is the position of an adjective in English. And second, because it describes the noun. We are talking about a newspaper that is issued and published daily, every day. So daily here is an adjective, and the ly in daily is ly adjectival because daily is an adjective. My new neighbor is friendly. In this example, friendly is an adjective. It comes after the verb be, and it describes the noun neighbor. We are talking about my new neighbor who is friendly. So I'm describing my new neighbor as friendly. So because friendly describes the noun neighbor, and because it comes after the verb be, which is the position, one of the positions of adjectives in English, so friendly is an adjective. And the ly in friendly is ly adjectival. The ambiguous case with ly homophones is that some ly forms can be both adjectives and adverbs. If you look at the dictionary for the word kindly, for example, you would notice that it is an adverb and it is an adjective. So how to know that the ly in kindly is ly adjectival or ly adverbial? Simply speaking, we have to look at context. We have to put it in a sentence. In this way, we can know whether kindly is an adverb or an adjective, and therefore the ly in kindly is adverbial or adjectival. I've said earlier that adjectives modify nouns, while adverbs modify verbs. So from this, we can conclude whether the ly form is put to describe a noun or to describe a verb in a sentence. If the ly form describes a noun, so it is an adjective, and the ly is ly adjectival. And if the ly form modifies and describes a verb, so the ly is ly adverbial. Let's have two examples to illustrate the point. My new neighbor is a quiet, kindly woman. Kindly is the ly form. It comes before a noun. Women is a noun and kindly comes before a noun. So it is an adjective because adjectives come before nouns, as we've said. This is first. And second, kindly describes women. We are talking about a quiet, kindly woman, a woman who is quiet and kindly. So kindly describes a woman and its position is before a noun. That is why it is an adjective. And because it is an adjective, the ly in kindly is ly adjectival, not adverbial. In the second sentence, I kindly request filling out these forms. Kindly here is an adverb because it describes and modifies the verb request. I request in a kind way. So here it describes the way of requesting. I'm requesting in a kind way. And because kindly here describes the verb, it means that it is an adverb. And the ly in kindly accordingly is ly adverbial, not ly adjectival. Now we take some examples from exercise A22, in which you are required to identify the ly as ly adjectival or ly adverbial in English sentences. Let's start with the first one. Grace always has a deadly wit. In this sentence, deadly is the ly form. Deadly in this sentence is an adjective. First, because it comes before the noun wit. So it is an adjective according to its position. And second, it functions as a modifier to the noun wit. It modifies, it describes the noun wit. Grace always has a wit, but what kind of wit? It is a deadly wit. So deadly describes wit. That is why it is an adjective, because it describes a noun. And because deadly is an adjective, the ly in deadly is ly adjectival, not adverbial. In the second example, he tiptoes softly into the room. Softly is the ly form. In this sentence, softly is an adverb because it describes the verb. How does he tiptoe? He tiptoes softly into the room, so we are describing the action. He tiptoes softly into the room. We are describing the action of the verb. That is why softly is an adverb. And because it is an adverb, the ly in softly is ly adverbial, not adjectival. Now pay attention to these two sentences. Jimmy receives a weekly allowance, and I weekly visit my grandmother. In these two sentences, we have the same ly form, weekly. In the first sentence, Jimmy receives a weekly allowance. Weekly is an adjective. First, because it comes before a noun. And second, because it describes a noun. It describes allowance. What kind of allowance? It is a weekly allowance. So weekly in this sentence is an adjective, and the ly is ly adjectival accordingly. But in the next sentence, I weekly visit my grandmother, weekly here is not an adjective. It is an adverb because it describes the times I visit my grandmother. I weekly visit my grandmother. How often do you visit your grandmother? The question is. And the answer is, I weekly visit my grandmother. So weekly is an adverb of time. I'm talking about the number of times I visit my grandmother. So it is an adverb. It describes the time, the number of times I visit my grandmother. So it is an adverb of time. And because it is an adverb of time, the ly in weekly is ly adverbial, not adjectival. So notice the same ly form, we can have it as an adjective and we can have it as an adverb according to its position in the sentence and according to its function, whether it modifies and describes a noun or a verb.